Hello lovebirds and lone wolves alike. Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into the ocean of emotions, swim with the sharks of sentiment, and occasionally get stung by the jellyfish of jest. Today, we're embarking on a journey through the labyrinth of love, guided by the wise words of some of the world's greatest thinkers. Buckle up, because this is going to be a roller coaster ride of romance, wit, and wisdom. Welcome to Decoding Love with Wit, a humorous journey through the quotes of great authors. Let's kick things off with a quote from Jodi Picault's Sing You Home.
Love is not an equation, it is not a contract, and it is not a happy ending. Love is the slate under the chalk, the ground that buildings rise, and the oxygen in the air. It is the place you come back to, no matter where you're headed.
Now isn't that a breath of fresh air? Love isn't a math problem to be solved or a contract to be negotiated. It's the foundation, the air we breathe, the home we return to. It's like that one pizza place you always go back to, no matter how many new ones you try. Because, let's face it, nothing beats the classic margarita. And speaking of pizza, did I ever tell you about the time I tried to impress a date by making homemade pizza? Let's just say, the fire department was involved. Next up, we have a quote from Mignon McLaughlin's The Second Neurotic's Notebook.
In the arithmetic of love, 1 plus 1 equals everything, and 2 minus 1 equals nothing.
I know we just said love isn't a math problem, but hear me out. This isn't your regular algebra, it's the algebra of affection, the calculus of cuddles, the trigonometry of togetherness. When two people are in love, they become a universe unto themselves. And when one is subtracted, what's left is a void. It's like when you're binge watching a show, and your favorite character gets written off. Suddenly, the show just isn't the same anymore. It's like when I was a kid and my best friend moved away. I felt like a part of my world was missing. But as they say, life goes on. Moving on to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's Death, the Final Stage of Growth.
The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths.
This quote reminds us that beauty is born out of struggle and resilience. It's like that one episode of Stranger Things, where the kids have to face the Demogorgon. It's terrifying, it's challenging, but it's also what makes them stronger and more beautiful as characters. And speaking of Stranger Things, there was this one time when I got lost in a corn maze. I felt like I was in the Upside Down. Next, we have a quote from Benjamin Eliar Seams's Last Night I Sang to the Monster.
The heart can get really cold if all you've known is winter.
This quote is a gentle reminder that our past experiences shape our emotional landscape. If all you've known is heartbreak and disappointment, it's easy to become cold and distant. It's like when your favorite band releases 3 bad albums in a row. You start to lose faith, right? But remember, spring always follows winter. And speaking of spring, it reminds me of a time when I was going through a rough patch. I remember sitting in a park, watching the flowers bloom, and realizing that life, like seasons, is cyclical. After every winter, there's always a spring waiting. Victor Hugo, in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, says,
Love is like a tree. It grows by itself, roots itself deeply in our being, and continues to flourish over a heart in ruin. The inexplicable fact is that the blinder it is, the more tenacious it is. It is never stronger than when it is completely unreasonable.
Love, according to Hugo, is like a tree. growing and rooting itself without any conscious effort from us. It's like that one meme that you didn't find funny at first, but it kept popping up everywhere until you found yourself chuckling at it. And speaking of memes, did I ever tell you about the time I tried to create a meme? It was a disaster, but it was also one of the funniest moments of my life. Next, we have Eric Fromm, who, in The Art of Loving, says,
Love is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for the promise to love each other forever. A feeling comes and it may go.
Love, according to Fromm, is more than just a fleeting emotion. It's a conscious decision, a promise. It's like deciding to become a vegan. It's not just about liking vegetables, it's a commitment to a lifestyle. In 2019, when I decided to finally hit the gym regularly, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in life, but it was also one of the most rewarding. Judith Butler, in Undoing Gender, says this:
Love is not a state, a feeling, a disposition, but an exchange, uneven, fraught with history, with ghosts, with longings that are more or less legible to those who try to see one another with their own faulty vision.
This quote reminds us that love is a complex exchange, filled with history, longing, and imperfections. It's like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. It's messy, it's complicated, and there are parts that don't seem to fit anywhere. But when you finally get it together, it's deeply satisfying. And if you're anything like me, you're left with a few extra screws and a newfound appreciation for carpenters. Next we have a quote from Juliette Marilliers, Flame of Seven Waters.
Love is not a whim. Love is not a flower that fades with a few fleeting years. Love is a choice wedded to action, my husband, and I chose you, and I will choose you every day for the rest of my life.
This quote emphasizes that love is a conscious choice and a commitment. It's not a fleeting feeling that fades away, but a decision that stands the test of time. It's like deciding to grow a mustache. It's not just about the initial excitement of looking like a 70s movie star, but the commitment to maintain it every single day. And speaking of mustaches, did I ever tell you about the time I decided to grow one? Let's just say, I ended up looking like a catfish. But hey, it was a decision that certainly made my life more interesting. Another great quote from Maria V. Snyder's Sea Glass, in which she says,
The heart is a strange beast and not ruled by logic. I have known fear, but it is not fear I feel now. Nor do I feel regret for the actions that have set me on this path. I feel only a deep and abiding love for you. You are the reason I am what I am. You are my strength, and, I fear, my weakness. For you, I will risk all and not count the cost.
This quote reminds us that love can be a source of strength and, sometimes, weakness. It's like being a fan of a sports team. You cheer for them, you draw strength from their victories, but their losses can also leave you heartbroken. And speaking of sports, there are times when I get so invested in a football game or a cricket match that I forget I have a pot on the stove. Let's just say, dinner becomes extra crispy on such nights. And for our 10th and final quote, we have one from Roshni Chakshi's The Gilded Wolves.
Love is a journey through uncharted territories, and love is a trial, and love is a war where no one wins, and love is an endless series of questions, a knot with no end in sight, a losing game. Love is all these things. But above all else, love is about weathering the terms of life together. It is about facing the world hand in hand, and not letting go, no matter how hard it tries to tear you apart.
This quote beautifully captures the complexity and resilience of love. It's like the journey of Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. It's challenging, it's unpredictable, but it's also an adventure. And speaking of Game of Thrones, do you remember the time when we all tried to predict the series finale? Let's just say, our guesses were as accurate as a Dothraki in a snowball fight. And there you have it, people. 10 love quotes that make you think, laugh, and maybe even shed a tear. Remember, love is a journey, not a destination. It's a song, not a note. It's a book, not a page. So keep loving, keep laughing, and keep living. Until next time, this is Oddball Optimism, signing off with a reminder that love, like a good joke, is all about the timing. And before you go, don't forget to like and share this video, and also subscribe to our channel for notifications. Leave a comment below with your favorite love quote. We'd love to hear from you.